Vasudevaya. Reading from Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, verse number 4. Na karmana anarambham naishkarmyam purushashnute na cha sannyasnad eva samsiddhi samadhi gacchati. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Nor by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Purport. The renounced order of life can be accepted upon being purified by the discharge of the prescribed form of duties, which are laid down just to purify the heart of materialistic man. Without purification, one cannot attain success by abruptly adopting the fourth order of life, sannyasa. According to the empirical philosophers, simply by adopting sannyasa or retiring from fruitive activities, one at once becomes as good as Narayana. But Lord Krishna does not approve this principle. Without purification of the heart, sannyasa is simply a disturbance to the social order. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance in the cause is accepted by the Lord. Bhakti Yoga. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Even a slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome great difficulties. So, in this verse, Krishna is clarifying Arjuna's doubt. Arjuna had a doubt about what is better, renunciation or development of knowledge or performing your activities, performing your duties. Because after hearing dual-sided instruction of Krishna in the 2nd chapter, Arjuna became confused what he should do. So, if you see, the entire 2nd chapter is named as Summary of Bhagavad Gita, contents of Gita summarized. So, after hearing from Arjuna in the 1st chapter and after accepting Arjuna's surrender, what he did in the 2nd chapter beginning, Shishyasteham swadhimam tvam prapannam, that I am a soul surrender to you. So once he accepted the surrender of Arjuna, he wanted to immediately relieve Arjuna's pain because he was feeling that how much disturbed Arjuna is. He is crying, his hands are shivering, he is not able to withstand. The same fighter who could fight with great warriors, he is in a very debilitated situation. So automatically it attracted a lot of concern of Krishna because, as we know, Krishna himself says, Bhaktosi me saka cheti, you are my great devotee and my friend. So having these deep emotions towards his friend Arjuna, he immediately wanted to relieve Arjuna's pain. So Krishna in a way spoke everything in the 2nd chapter. So that when somebody comes to us with a problem and we are so much attached to that person, so what happens, we just want to jump to the solution. We won't go into the detail of thing, we'll just keep on saying what you should do, what you should not do. So that's how the entire Gita got summarized in the 2nd chapter, because immediately Krishna wanted to relieve Arjuna's pain. But Arjuna, being a good student, he was asking a lot of good questions from Krishna. And now the clarification will start from the 3rd chapter onwards. And the first question what Arjuna had asked is, what is better? Whether fighting is better or renunciation or the giving up or the development of knowledge is better. So if you see, Arjuna himself wanted to renounce in the 1st chapter. I don't want to fight. So in a way, he got a loophole. Okay, now Krishna is also saying that we should develop knowledge. We should not act. That's what Krishna concluded the 2nd chapter with. He thought, okay, now I can catch Krishna here. In which Krishna told you can renounce, you can develop knowledge. That is what I was proposing in the first chapter itself. Let me go to the Himalayas. Why I have to engage myself in this ghostly warfare? So then, now Arjuna is asking, putting forward this argument, which is better? So as we discussed in the last verse also, that how Krishna is segregating these two category of people. Loke asmin duvidha nishta pura prokta myanagah jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. There are two kind of people based upon their level of faith. If you see in the previous verse, Krishna clearly said duvidha nishtha, two levels of faith. Based upon your level of evolution, you can accept whether you can accept engage in fruitive activities, or you can choose to develop philosophical speculation, or to choose knowledge for that matter. Now in this verse, Krishna is further clarifying his statement, and he's saying, na karmanam anarambam naishkarmya purusha shnute nacha sannyas eva siddhim samadhi gacchati. So he's saying na karmananam. Karmana means activities. Na karmananam anarambham. Anarambha means, we say arambha. Arambha means is a initiation, is a kind of beginning of activities, performance of activities. So he's saying anarambham. Anarambha means no performance of duty, no starting. So what is not starting? Na karmananam. If you don't act, there is no initiation of activities. Karmanam anarambham. Nishkarmyam purusha shnute. Because if you see why Krishna is saying this, na karmananam anarambe, because one of the doubt of Arjuna was that if I engage in myself in this battlefield, I'm going to incur a lot of sin act on my head. Because I'll be killing so many people in front of me, I'll be the cause of the destruction, I'll be the cause of these people getting killed. So naturally the sinful reactions will come on me. So let me not act. So Krishna is clarifying that doubt of Arjuna in this particular phrase. Na karmananam anarambham. Not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction. Neish karmayanam purushashnute. So if you're thinking, my dear Arjuna, that you can get rid of the reaction by not acting, that is not going to happen. In a way, he's clarifying that out of Arjuna in this verse, in this statement. And then, okay, I will not act, I will not kill, I will not perform my duty, but let me take sannyas. There are two things: not performing your duty and taking sannyas. So both the things Krishna is clarifying here. The second statement, what Krishna says, nacha sannyas sanayad eva. Sannyasanat eva. Not by renunciation also. So if you are thinking, okay, let me not act, let me take sannyas, still, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. So one theme which is clearly coming out of this verse is that Krishna wants Arjuna to achieve some certain things. So what is this Krishna want Arjuna to achieve, which is mentioned in this verse? Krishna is saying, Siddhim Samadhim Gacchati. Samadhi Gacchati means attain, achieve. So what does Krishna want Arjuna to achieve? Siddhi. So basically, why Krishna is giving these instructions to Arjuna? Because Krishna wants Arjuna to achieve Siddhi. So what is this Siddhi? Some Siddhi, because if you see this word comes in many places. Some Siddhi, Siddhi, Harito, these kind of phrases. So what does it mean when we say achieving Siddhi? And what kind of Siddhi does Krishna want Arjuna to achieve? For that he is giving all these instructions to Arjuna. Okay, so what is a Siddhi for this? Let's say I am this body. Let's imagine, hypothetically, that I am this body, physical body. So what can be the Siddhi for this body? What can be the perfection for this body? No disease, no old age. I can eat as much as I want. I can work as much as I want. I can enjoy my senses as much as I want without any obstructions. I can be very beautiful always, very youthful always. And that can be the siddhi of this material body, isn't it? Anything else? What comes to your mind when you think, okay, perfection of body, perfection of this physical body? What else comes to your mind? I'm sorry? I'm sorry? Better health, yes, perfect health, no disease. Mental health, that is second level. That is perfection of emotional body, perfection of emotional life. The perfection, the siddhi of this physical body can be, I can do whatever I want with this body. There should be no limitation. There should be no restriction with this body in terms of eating, working, enjoying, any of these kind of things. So what can be the perfection? Okay, what can be the siddhi for my mind? Siddhi for this body, then siddhi for the mind. What can be the siddhi for the mind? No agitation, perfectly calm, like the depth of the ocean, unagitated. What else can be siddhi for the mind? Always be happy, always be peaceful. That can be siddhi for the mind. Anything else? What can be siddhi for the mind? Sorry? That is intelligence, a different thing. We'll coming to that. What is siddhi for the mind? Sense is under control. Yes, equanimous, like sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Krishna also explained here to remain equanimous. So siddhi for the emotion can be being able to always motivated, not feel any depressed, not feel any anxiety, not feel that kind of emotions, that 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 waves of emotions which we experience up and downs. It should be stable. That can be the perfection for the mind. What can be the perfection for intelligence? We have the body, we have the mind, we have the intelligence. What can be the perfection for intelligence? Right decisions at the right time. Okay. Being able to discover whatever I want. The scientists lack intelligence sometimes because they are not able to discover, they are not able to satisfy their curiosity. They want something, but it is not coming to them. So whatever I want to know should be revealed to me, or I should get that idea. I should not get stuck. I should be guided. I should have that, what's going to happen in the future, and accordingly, based upon that, I can use my intelligence and sail through all the different situations. That can be perfection for the intelligence. What can be the siddhi for the ego? Okay, we have the body, we have the mind, we have the intelligence. What can be siddhi for the ego? Whatever I say should happen. I should be the boss. Yeah, that can be the perfection for the ego. That everybody is trying to go higher and higher in their career, in the whatever achievement or whatever positions. So to be able to get siddhi in their ego, if you analyze that, to be able to achieve a state wherein I can do whatever I want. I'm the one who can dictate whatever is to happen. Nobody should question me for that matter. That is, ego should not get hurt. So that is what the siddhi for the ego. So do you think Krishna is speaking any of these kind of siddhis to Arjuna? Siddhi of the body, siddhi of the mind, siddhi of the intelligence, siddhi of the ego. So what kind of siddhi Krishna is saying here, right? Siddhi samadhi gacchati. What kind of siddhi Krishna is speaking to Arjuna? Krishna is speaking about the Arjuna's siddhi, means Arjuna's the spiritual soul siddhi. So what siddhi Arjuna wanted to achieve? Peaceful mind. That was siddhi for his mind. No, don't achieve siddhi for the mind. Arjuna was wanting to achieve siddhi of the mind, but Krishna is saying that is not your real siddhi. I will tell you what is real siddhi. If you see the word Siddhi, again Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita itself that how you can achieve Siddhi. In the 9th chapter, in the 18th chapter it comes. Let me blot that once. Krishna says that you can achieve Siddhi by performing your activities. So Krishna says here, Swe Swe Karmani Abhiratau Sam Siddhi Labate Narau. He's saying Sam Siddhi Labate Narau. Swakarma Niratau Siddhi Yatha Vindati Tachho. Translation: by following the qualities, by following his quality of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. So what is Krishna saying? That by following the quality of your work, one can become perfect. And next verse Krishna says, when we dedicate our activities for Krishna's happiness, Krishna's pleasure, then is the one when we can achieve Siddhi. Again in the Bhagavatam it is said, some Siddhi Haritoshanam, that we can achieve Siddhi by Haritoshan. Toshan means Santosh. If you see the word Toshan, Santosh means satisfaction. So Toshan is the word which means satisfaction. So by doing some Siddhi Haritoshanam, we can achieve some Siddhi by Toshan of Krishna. When Krishna becomes satisfied, that is what is Siddhi for the soul. So Arjuna was looking for his body, mind, intellect, ego Siddhi, but Krishna is saying achieve soul Siddhi. And what is soul Siddhi? Soul's Siddhi is to when I become happy. And Krishna says, what will the status like that when you achieve Siddhi? Krishna says again in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, in that verse Krishna is saying that Mam upeteya punarjanma dukhalyam ashashvatam napruvanti mahatmanaha sam siddhi paramam gataha. Again Krishna is speaking about this word sam siddhi. So what is sam siddhi according to Krishna's instruction? Okay, Krishna is saying, if you satisfied me, that is you're in the path of sam siddhi. You're in the path of achieving perfection. So what will be the ultimate destination of sam siddhi? Mam upeteya punarjanma dukhalyam ashashvatam. When we transcend from this material world, when we as a soul go back to the spiritual world, dukhalyam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha. When we don't come back to this material world, sam siddhi paramam gataha. That is a param gati. So that is a siddhi, some siddhi, what Krishna is talking about in this verse. Even if you see in the Bhagavatam 11th canto, Markandeya Rishi, who was performing great austerities, and then Uma was seeing how tranquil he is very peaceful, he is like stable as the water in the ocean, which is undisturbed with any wave or something. She was proposing to Shiva, please give him some siddhi. Please give him siddhi, because yes, siddhadhao, you are the one who can give perfection. Siddhadhao means Lord Shiva she is referring to. Please give him some siddhi because he is completely stable, completely purified, completely balanced after seeing Markandeya Rishi trance. And Lord Shiva said he does not need anything. He has already achieved pure devotional service. So Lord Shiva says, what are you talking? I cannot give him any perfection because he has already achieved the perfection of having that transcendental, pure devotional attitude towards Krishna. So that is the sam siddhi for the soul. And the entire Bhagavad Gita Krishna is speaking about, so that we as a soul can achieve that sam siddhi, can achieve that perfection. But the question comes then, how this activities, how this renunciation, Krishna is connecting to sam siddhi. Because Krishna is saying here, na karmananam anarambham neshkaryam purusha shnute. How by performing activities of this world we can achieve sam siddhi? Because that's what Krishna is saying here. Na karmananam anarambham. That by not performing your duty, you will not achieve perfection. If you turn this statement around, you can achieve sam siddhi only when you act in this world. So what is Krishna saying? You're thinking that by not action, by not acting in any way, you will not achieve perfection, but you will not. So means Krishna is indirectly proposing that you can achieve some siddhi only by acting in this material world. So basically, Krishna is slashing down the inactive mode of Arjuna. So how this is both are connected to each other, acting in this world and achieving perfection. Anybody would like to suggest how the action in this world is connected to achieving perfection in this spiritual life? For dovetailing samsiddhi ritoshan, what is happening with this? Is that Krishna is looking for that service? Is that Krishna is looking for some gain from me? Is it that is happening? So what is happening is purification of the heart. If you see Prabhupada is saying in this purport, Prabhupada says, the renounced order of life can be accepted upon being purified by the discharge of prescribed form of duties, which are laid down just to purify the heart of materialistic man. So what's the purpose of all these prescribed duties? Prescribed duties as Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya, Shudra, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Brahmachari or whatever it is. Why? What is the purpose for all these different categorization? It is the purification of the heart. So how this purification of heart is happening once we are giving service to Krishna? How it is happening? Because what Krishna is saying not only to perform your activities. You would see Krishna will also see to sacrifice those activities, the result of those activities. So, but when we sacrifice something, we are giving something. Because why do we act in this world? Because we have attachment. We want to achieve certain things in our life because we are very driven to achieve it. There is some sort of attachment connected to that. And once we give that to Krishna, what is happening? My attachment is getting broken. So when that attachment is getting broken, there is some pinch of pain we feel in the heart, isn't it? When attachment gets broken, we feel a pinch of pain in the heart. So what is this pain in the heart? This is a pain of purification. So when we feel that when somebody goes away from my life, when some money goes away from my life, when expectation get broken down, when all those so-called turmoil in the life happens, so that pain we are going through, if that sacrifice is connected to Krishna. If that sacrifice is not connected to Krishna, then it is a pain of punishment, not pain of purification. So if we connect the sacrifice to Krishna, then it converts from pain of punishment to pain of purification. Anyways, pain we have to experience because of our karma. That is not denied. Attachment will be slashed down, attachment will be broken at one point of time. But if you voluntarily give it for Krishna, then what is happening is I am transmuting my punishment to purification. And once this purification is happening, it's like your heart becomes the hearth. The constant fire is burning there, and my consciousness start getting purified in the fire of purification. There's a fire which burns in us of pain, and my heart becomes like a hearth wherein the iron is into the fire, is on purification of fire. Similarly, the fire of purification can convert our heart into our broken heart into our very solid heart into purified soft heart. And that is how we are transferring our heart to Krishna. So Krishna is expecting us to give his heart to us. So how do we give our heart to him? What's the first stage? When we give attachment in our heart and we sacrifice it for Krishna. In our heart, there is a lot of attachment. When we give those attachment to Krishna, indirectly we are giving our heart to Krishna. Because that pain we are experiencing and our heart is getting purified forward so that Krishna can come and sit here. If you see, if you compare this earth, material world earth, it has a lot of resources, it has a lot of wealth, isn't it? See, all the economy is running only because of the resources, the wealth coming from the earth. For example, diamond. Diamond is coming from the earth, gold is coming from the earth, vegetables is coming from the earth, grains is coming from the earth, coal is coming from the earth. Practically everything on which our economy is running is coming from the earth. So Krishna has invested all his energies and all the wealth in the same earth. It has that potency, it has that power. Because the earth belongs to Krishna. Because the earth belongs to Krishna, all those seemingly stone, all those seemingly soil, all those very basic mundane things, it has all the wealth of the world. Isn't it? Because it belongs to Krishna. Similarly, if we give the land of our heart to Krishna, then what will happen? Because this earth land belongs to Krishna, that is why he has invested all lot of wealth, resources, energy into the earth. So if we also in sacrifice or the give the land of our heart to Krishna, then what do you think will happen? What will Krishna do with that land? Sorry? He will invest some siddhi. He will give perfection to that heart. And what is the perfection? We'll go back to Krishna. And what is the experience like to be with Krishna? Is incomparable anything of this world. So that is what is like a. If you see another example, what you can think of that how the heart becomes from that solid, like very materialistic, like to the spiritual soft heart, is like the distillation process. If you see these essential oils, what happens in these essential oils? It is the essence of that particular fruit or that flower or whatever, like lavender essential oil. It has the essence of it. Each drop contains like the essence of so many numbers of flowers. Each drop of essential oil. Similarly, so much of hard work of distilling and converting that flowers into the oil, one drop will come. Similarly, by working for so many lifetimes, so many number of years of purification, that one drop of devotion towards Krishna will come. That way, it's not easy. In that way, by working in this world or by for years and years and years of sacrifice, then sometime that everything will get distilled to one drop of devotion to Krishna. So that is what the distillation process looks like. And if we allow it to give it to Krishna, then only we can become, we can achieve that perfection. So I would be suggesting one cost of purification, C.O.S.T. What is this cost of purification? So the cost of purification or cost to achieve perfection or cost to achieve that life. C stands for conviction. Conviction means conviction of yes, that is the real siddhi for me. The real siddhi is not the siddhi of the mind. The real siddhi is not the siddhi of this body. The real siddhi is not to become perfect yogi. The real siddhi is to achieve that drop of love towards Krishna. Some siddhi haritoshan. By satisfying Krishna, I am ready to do anything for that. So conviction for higher purpose stands for C. What is O here? C-O. O is open-heartedness. Open-heartedness for purification. So now there comes the catch. So although by regular process of regular working through our karma yoga, by sacrificing the result for Krishna's activity, by years and years and years of process will get distilled to one drop, but still there is a process by which we can expedite it. How we can expedite the purification? How we can, in a small span of time, we can get more amount of that drops and that liquidity of the devotional service to Krishna which flows towards Krishna. How do we expedite that purification? Because if we see, if we compare, our heart is like a solid now, and solid object is very difficult to move. It doesn't move easily. More solid it is, more difficult to move. But you see, liquid is much more easier to flow for liquid. So when our heart, which is like a solid earth, becomes like a water and converts into devotion, it's easy to flow towards Krishna. And more we are flowing toward Krishna means more connections is deeper and more we are going through perfection. So we can achieve that malleability, that liquidity of the heart which flows toward Krishna in the form of devotion by prayers. The topmost prayer, what we can offer is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra in a humble mood. If you see, so that is what one drop of devotion by working through so many lifetimes, by working through so many number of years, only one drop, that is the last thing which you get, purification. By working through karma yoga, by sacrificing your result of your activity, it is the last thing which you get to achieve that drop of purification. But in the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's the first thing which you get. Because if you see the Sistastakam prayers which were offered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the first three words are in the Sistastakam, Cheto Darpana Marjana. So in the regular work, the last thing would be to get purified, but in the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is like prayers of purification, first three words itself can give you purification. Cheto Darpana Marjana. It's the initial thing what happens there. It's a beginning in chanting. In the Karma Yoga, it's the end result. In Bhakti Yoga, in the chanting is a primary first result. And then all the Sistastakam goes and we can discuss another. So always open-heartedness to receive purification through prayers in a prayerful mood when we chant. C is for conviction, O is for open-heartedness to receive blessings in a prayerful mood, S for sacrifice. When we sacrifice for Krishna, sacrifice can be anything. Sacrifice need not be the money. Sacrifice can be your sacrificing your time, sacrificing your attachment, sacrificing something which you like. So a drop of sacrifice keeps building up that. If you see, the sacrifice is more or less depends upon sensitivities of supplier. Let's say if somebody is being giving so much of thing to you, he's been giving you comfort, house, money, everything whatever you need. He's supplier to all your needs. But we are not sensitive why that person is supplying that. We don't have that gratefulness in our heart. Then what will happen? We'll not, after some time, that supply will stop. And similarly, when we become sensitive to Krishna's supply, He's been supplying us material resources, He's been supplying us whatever we need in our life. So He's supplying, and when we become sensitive to His supplies, we start sacrificing. So sacrifice is not a really big thing in that way. We think, oh, I have to sacrifice. Sacrifice means just being sensitive to supplier's desire. And just to show a basic courtesy of being grateful toward the Lord. Very, very basic thing. Not a really, okay, sacrificing means I have to really become a great human being. It's not like that. I have to just become normal human being to be able to sacrifice. And T stands for C for conviction, O for open-heartedness, S for sacrifice, T for taste. taste for his spiritual life. So, but when we have conviction, when we are praying in a heartful way, when we are sacrificing, automatically the taste towards Krishna comes. And Krishna talks about that taste in the second chapter. Vishayavani vartante niraharasya deina raso varjam rasopasya param drishtva nivartate. And once we get that taste, that sacrifice does not look like sacrifice. Because once we are experiencing the higher, initially chanting 1 round, 2 round, 4 rounds, so painful, we are sacrificing something, as if we are sacrificing that. But once we start getting taste, because of that initial conviction, to become convinced, if you see the conviction is in the intelligence, the open-heartedness in the mind, sacrifice is for something we are sacrificing physically, and then we get the spiritual taste. So some siddhi, what we are thinking of the body, mind, intelligence and everything, we are sacrificing that to achieve some siddhi for spiritual life. Sacrificing the some siddhi of the intellect, in the sense that, okay, I have to become convinced intellectually, have a strong belief that that is what real perfection is. Then that open-heartedness, allow your emotions to flow towards Krishna, having that open-heartedness, sacrificing your emotions, sacrificing something which you have in your life, physical, whatever it is. And then it allows you to develop taste towards spiritual life. And that taste, when it comes, inspires you to have to go toward that direction. And sacrifice does not look like sacrifice, and we can easily keep on going in that direction for a long time, and ultimately we can achieve perfection. So that's how we understand that that's what Krishna is trying to say. By not abstaining from the work, but working for Krishna. Not by renunciation, because when you are sacrificing for Krishna, it includes renunciation. But only renunciation will not give you anything. That is what Krishna is trying to say. And Krishna not only wants Arjuna to achieve perfection, Krishna wants all of us to achieve perfection. Even if Krishna has to come in front of you right away, what he will say? Follow this. Work for me in this world so that you can come to my world. So these are the instructions what Krishna is trying to inspire, and that is all coming from his. If you see in that way, it should not be very, very difficult for us to give our love or give our emotions toward Krishna. So why do you think it becomes difficult for us? Why it becomes difficult for me to go towards Krishna, or to feel for Krishna, or to give our emotions to Krishna? It is very difficult because we are not able to experience what Krishna experiences for me. What Krishna feels for me, that is what we are not able to experience. Once we understand what Krishna is feeling for me, I can't stop my feeling towards somebody. If you know, okay, that person loves me so much, can you really stop your feeling to flow toward that person? We can't. So knowing how much Krishna loves us, knowing how much Krishna wants us back, and meditating on that and thinking of this itself can instill itself can can push our feeling to flow towards Krishna. So in that way, spiritual life is not a very rocket science, it's a very simple thing. Just that our heart has to be simple by understanding Krishna's feeling for us. So with this, we'll conclude. If anybody have any doubts, any questions, then we can discuss. Anybody have anything in their mind to discuss? Maybe we can discuss. Okay. So now we'll do the chanting of 1 round of Hare Krishna mantra, and we'll try to meditate on one of the point while we are chanting, and the point should be the chanting itself is a great compassion of the Lord. Let's say if Krishna does not have love for me, he will not give his name to us. So I think most of you have been chanting, and how many of you are coming first time and attending these sessions first time and chanting first time?